I love getting merch and shit. SippinWitSammie on everything. All right, so we good?
Yeah, I like that. It's actually dope.
Appreciate it.
I actually, when I saw it online, I was like, yo, that joint is crazy. The logo, like the way y'all put
Thanks.
that is, it's dope. Every time I try to do something, like I always wanted to do something for Dante Diesel, how to make it connect and just make it look a certain way without it biting somebody else's. But SippinWitSammie, like I'm looking at I see the S, I see the W, and I see the S, but the S backwards. Like it's just dope. Like the concept of it.
Shit, this was years ago. At this point, I reached out to a white guy I know that does designing and whatever, and I paid him a couple dollars, and he sent me a few designs, and that was the one that made the most sense for like transferring to everything.
Yeah.
Like so you could put it on a polo shirt as like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
A logo and it won't look too crazy.
Nope.
Yeah,
Not at all. Like it sits right there. Like it's dope.
And then I had got these are the original shot glasses, the ones on my album cover.
They cute.
Oh.
That's when they was cheap. By the time I went back, these Jones is one sided.
That's dope.
So it's just
this
like,
is nice, yo.
So I got a couple more things in mind I'm gonna grab. But you know.
I can appreciate it, man. I started out in the game like that, just buying little stuff. Before this was even thought of as cool, I was doing it.
Yeah, you'd be surprised. Like I remember it's places I put shot glasses in 4 years ago, and till this day somebody tagged me on Instagram like, yo, I didn't know you knew such and such. You be at such and such. I walked in, your glass on the shelf. It's like, yeah, that's my spot. I ain't been there in 3 years though, but yeah, I fuck with them. You know what I mean? Like it keeps advertisement keep going till somebody break the motherfucker.
Hopefully they don't break it no time.
Exactly. Like we grown, you should know how to handle a glass.
That's dope, man.
But let's get rolling since she already recording.
I'm sippin', 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 I'm sippin'.
Sippin', I'm 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 sippin'.
Nice.
This is SippinWitSammie. I am SippinWitSammie, Sam Malone, Barstool, Rug. If you ain't SippinWitSammie, you ain't sipping right. Please get your fucking life together. It'll be 2023 already, and you wouldn't have had a shot yet. And I have the lovely Majay co-hosting. How you doing today?
I'm good. Chilling.
You got to speak a little louder today.
I'm good. I'm chilling.
If you speak louder, you ain't gotta lean forward. We gonna work on it though. Keep your posture. Just raise your voice.
It's hard.
And we got my guy in here, man. Jermaine, quick, how you feeling, bro?
Oh man, it's a blessing. Assalamu alaikum to all the brothers and sisters, and just to be here in the moment, man. I wanted to be on your show a long time ago. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like seriously.
All you had to do was say the word.
Listen, man. I wanted to bring something. Like I wanted to make sure that I had something. I don't like to come to parties and not bring something.
I understand that.
Saying? So, you know.
I understand that. A lot of people say that. A lot of people, they just waiting for the time. And that's fine. Because, you know, although we could do it again, I want people to come the way that they most comfortable. And I definitely want you to have something to give the people besides personality.
Most definitely.
You know what I mean? So I'm glad to have you. You know, timing is always divine anyway.
I appreciate it, good brother. I ain't gonna lie to you. Timing is always divine.
Timing is divine. But Jermaine is somebody that I met eons ago, I feel like at this point, especially based on the progression and the things that have gone on since. But you've been in my cookout. Yes, sir. I think that's what I met. I think I met you right before that. And then you shot the cookout. You shot the video for City. And then ever since then, it's like, oh, we gotta go to 69th Street for this premiere. Who premiered? Jermaine Quick got something coming up. Like, oh, word, we doing movie theaters now. So, like, I need to, like, where does this all start? When did you decide? Because it wasn't popping when you decided to pick up a camera. It wasn't the way. It was a thing, but it wasn't the way.
No.
Right?
Yeah, so we talking what, 2004?
Gotta be.
2003?
Yeah.
I was actually, 1999, I was working with Urban Expressions.
Okay.
At the time, Ed Box was the owner of Urban Expressions, and so basically, I teamed up with him. We did it. I was teaching high school at John Bartram High School, and I was teaching a video class. And so basically,
when I was in school,
I was there so much shit when I was in school.
Yeah, so the video class was dope, and I got the TV station involved, and so I had my little street buzz, which is going to be, but that wasn't heard of back then. Either.
No,
You
it
know what I'm
was just
saying?
niche. It was a couple. You can name everybody from that time period on one hand for real.
Right, exactly. Actually, back then it wasn't heard of. Now everybody's trying to put up a poster and flyer to promote their stuff. But really, I can get my man Supreme. He'll tell you, I was the only one in the hood. I was my first independent recording artist from my hood, like 93. I put out my own album independently with my income tax money from my.
So that's how you was rapping cars and all of that shit early on. Like you just already was in on the.
I was already in.
Nigga had a rap joint in 03, 04. Like.
Really?
Yeah, before
motherfuckers
it was even a thing to do. Now you got beauty salons with rap vans and all of that. I was
another thing that's gotten cheaper over the years.
Yeah,
You did it when it hurt.
yeah. I did it first when it was not the thing to do. DVD magazines. You know, you had two Raw for the Streets that was out. Smack DVD. But
That's what I'm saying. There's a handful.
right. So when I was doing ILLADELSTYLES DVD magazine, I didn't just wanted to do a rap magazine. I wanted to do a magazine that had big stars in it. So I got a press pass from the city.
Dope.
And I was allowed in any event in the city. Any event you
How
name
old were
it.
you?
decent.
How old were you around this time? Because that's a.
I was in my 30s around that time.
All right, cool. Because
Yeah.
that's like, it's one of those things where it's like, I understand that mode of thinking, but I'm grown.
Right,
you know
right,
what I
right,
mean?
right,
But
right.
no, that's dope because a lot of people don't think ahead that way.
No, because I figured if you really want to get next to a star, you need to be official.
You got to be in the building.
You gotta be
in the
official.
rooms.
So I started when I graduated from Temple University at the PASSET program for entrepreneurship. That's when I started ILLADELSTYLES in 2001. From that journey up until 2004, I was learning how to the business and how to set up the paperwork so that when I approach these people, I look professional. So once I got the press pass, I did all the car shows, the initial car shows. So I got Joe Frazier before he died. Wow. You know what I'm saying? So I got important people. John Cena when he won the belt. So these and they all on YouTube. So everything I'm saying to you is all manifested already. And so at the end of the day, that kind of gave me the idea like I should be doing TV shows. Because remember the DVD started to fall off. And once that fell off, I was like, oh, I need to reinvent myself again. Now I was always doing hip hop, but something else was pulling me, and the video was pulling me. And then I just started doing videos for people. And then I said, you know, I need to do a film. And I did my first film. And at the time, Young Hot, Blue Flame, all these guys was hot at the time. Mr. Wee and Daddy-O. I took these guys and made a film. Now, in our mind, it was going to be a local thing. But I had an opportunity to premiere it at CCP. Now it was two rooms they had, the 100 people room, and the 500 people room. I said, no, I ain't gonna rent that because I don't think we're gonna get that kind of crowd. I already put myself down mentally, and that's something you should never do. Okay.
I'm sure you learned from that.
right. So we bought the 100 seat room. I figured, well, we only gonna get like 30 people, 40 people. Standing room only. Right? And that was just my first film. It was less than 49 minutes. That was it. So in my head, I started twirling. I said, you know what? I'm gonna make another movie. So I got down with a Philly Coalition. My man Bub. And I got that through my man Sam, man.
Okay. Shout out to Sam. That's my guy, man.
Yeah, definitely. So when we did that, we came together and made a movie called Concealed Habitat. And so we had people like Ace McLeod that was in the mix, help with the to put out the soundtrack.
Absolutely.
And so
he got the streets.
Yeah, and so at the end of the day, I in my mind I already knew how to put the package together. Movie soundtrack, because we were already told over time that's what you're supposed to do. So I always had that concept. Anytime I put out a movie, I put out a soundtrack. You know what I'm saying? And this time I was able to use my music, and people gravitated to it more because it was in the movie.
Yeah,
That's smart.
I want to talk about. We'll get into that in a minute because I have a whole theory on how a lot of classics became classics, and a lot of it is placement. Product placement. The shit was in Juice, you remember it. It was in, you know what I mean. You just remember these joints. Shit. You can even go to A Thin Line or How Stella Got a Groove Back. Anything that they played in them joints, they rang. You know what I mean. And shout out to Sister Nancy because she just got what she was supposed to get. Because we been knew that song was hot from Belly. But she ain't know that we even gave a fuck about it. That's crazy, right? Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I think that we are always last to pick up on something that's already great going on.
Ain't it crazy? Because we created, but we don't know the reach because all we know is what we're surrounded by.
Exactly.
So we like, ain't nobody else gonna give a fuck.
Right.
And so you think it's a blessing if you get something, but you don't realize you had all of this that they cut you. They didn't even tell you got.
Tell you. That's the key word is what you said. They didn't tell you.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've learned now at my space and time that all the information I'm starting to learn to give back. That's why I have interns now at my company. Dope. I'm working with one right now.
You can shout out.
And shout out to my girl Ree on the video, you know what I'm saying? Most definitely. But
she knocked like the police, but she cool.
No, that's my girl. She good money. And so I actually met her through Sandman at the time, but she really gravitated to what I was doing, and so I feel as though all the knowledge that I have, I need to dish it out to people who want it and that can take it and use it while they're young, because it took me a long time to gravitate all this knowledge I have right now.
But you know that makes your legacy endless.
Yeah.
Your legacy endless, because everybody's going, whether they want to or not, they're going to teach somebody else. Somebody else is going to follow their lead and see what they're doing and pick up from that. And you put down what they picking up in the very beginning. You know what I mean? That's heavy.
Yeah.
Especially with something where we talking about film. We talking about shit that's going to last. It's not like you taught somebody how to fix a car and the only person that appreciates it is whoever car they fix. You see what I'm saying? You know how movies go. It could be a whisper when it come out, and 20 years later they doing marathons every year for this movie that nobody cared about.
Exactly.
So it's dope.
Now with social media, things have become more open. Okay, so social media is definitely a gift and a curse.
Absolutely.
In its own.
Tell me about it.
Now, independent filmmaking, people kind of take for granted, because you have to understand one thing: when it's independent, it's coming out of your pocket. When it's Hollywood, it's coming out of a third party pocket.
And even those budgets have changed. There's either huge films or small films. There's no in between anymore.
Right, exactly. So
Hollywood budgets have shifted.
Yeah, and so now I didn't even know that.
Just look at what's coming out.
As an independent, you can apply for an Oscar. Right? And so I learned all of this, and now that I have my film in 40 film festivals, at least 10 of them are Oscar bound.
Congratulations, that's dope. You made 40 film festivals?
40 film
That's
festivals.
heavy, bro.
Yeah.
Now, what's funny about it is I was coming back from out of town one day, and Jermaine called me, and he had an idea for this. He was talking to me about it, and he told me, you said, I'm going into this thinking Oscar. I'm getting an Oscar either with this one or one right after. He said, I'm giving them the substance that they want, and it's going to be dope. And we talking Oscars. We not talking about nothing. You told me this. I was on the highway. You know what I'm saying? Like trying to pull off and get gas, get back on the highway, talking to him, and he was talking about Oscars. And it's like, I know you. So I'm not one of the ones that's like, nigga, you independent. Like, I'm like, he must have like figured out that he could fucking do it, and he's going to do it. Like, man, listen, so now it's 40 film festivals. You see what I'm saying? This wasn't that long ago we had this conversation, bro. That's so ill.
So I'm excited for you, and scope it out. Yo, listen,
I'm excited for you.
I sat home and scoped out everything, and this is not my only film that's out. No, I have a short film that's out called Entanglement, and that has just won an award for the short film.
Congratulations.
And so now what I'm going to do with this film festival, I mean this premiere that we're having June 16th.
June 16th.
At the Ritz, a second in Walnut.
Yo, the Ritz is a good look. Nice. Shout out to SUNWUN when he released Concrete Soldiers. I was in there. I got to see myself on the 85. We was at the Ritz.
Now, to me, I get spoiled. You got to understand the movie theaters, and I've been doing it for so long. And you have to understand, the Ritz to me is no different than studio movie theater. It's right. Now understand, we sold out.
I'm sorry.
We just sold out before pre-COVID, December 19th, 2019. We sold out the 69th Street movie theater. I'm talking about, when I say sell out, the studio movie grill.
Oh, movie grill.
What's 69th Street?
They have 8 rooms. We sold out all 8 rooms.
You don't understand. My whole timeline was there.
Really?
Everybody in my newsfeed was there. I don't even think I was in town. Everybody was there.
Except for
the Sammie, but
yeah.
You know, it definitely ain't on my heart. You know what I mean? It definitely wasn't because of my heart.
Right,
I had other shit to do.
Listen,
but like I said, remember
out.
I started off by saying it went from me seeing you do these things to, damn, 69th Street. Everybody down there? Who y'all down there for? And it was my folking. And that's the crazy thing. A lot of people never knew we knew each other, anything like that. You don't see us hanging together, kicking it together. I haven't been in the film yet, but we working on that. You see what I'm saying?
It's coming.
But it's one of those things where I've been saluting. When I see you, I tell you.
Most definitely.
But like I've really seen mass progression, like leaps and bounds type of shit, and that's inspiring.
Learn the game. I had to really analyze what's going on, where do I fit in, and if we was just to even talk about equipment, to be nerdy a little bit. I started off with a Panasonic camera. I got Russell Simmons on a Panasonic's camera that was about handheld like this. I know when I was doing interviews, and I used to attach a flashlight to it to get my nightlight. I got Jay. I got all kind of Alicia Keys, because I was the first black underground independent filmmaker. Well, not at the time. I was a videographer at Live Aid.
Okay,
that was in Philadelphia.
Yep.
I was the only one down there. When they called me in, and I said ILLADELSTYLES. So I come in, and I'd lie to you not, my assistant, we had a tripod and this little camera, and they said, so where you want to plug in at? And they bring us in this room, and all you see was all these networks with all these big cameras, $10,000-$20,000 cameras. I said to her, oh, we don't need to plug in. We'll be all right. Just keep it moving.
I bought enough batteries.
Right. Exactly. That's how the mold was.
Batteries in my book bag.
Yeah, that's how the mold was. But I was out there, all my stuff, and this is how I was uniform, and they respected me. I came out. I had my company name here. I had a hat with the company name on. I had a microphone. Chris Tucker got on the microphone, and I was so shocked to even interview Chris Tucker. I stuttered. So you know how Chris do, right? I said, so, and he looked at me, and I sworn he was gonna bust on me, but I said, all right, I'm gonna take this on the chin. So I just started the interview, and he just answered it, but I could see it in his face. He was like,
wheels started turning.
Ready. You ain't even ready for this interview. And I wasn't. I was not ready for the interview, but I was just so happy to get it.
But you know what though?
Awesome.
We got to get each other ready.
Right.
Like if I see that you like, he still did it because even noticing that you probably wasn't exactly where you was supposed to be. He still got to get the interview. Like we got to teach each other, which means you got to get through this fucking interview.
Yeah.
Right.
We have to finish this thing that you started because that'll help you get where you need to be. I think that we have to be intentional about those things. We can't just shut people out.
Yeah, you're right.
You know what I mean?
I think it actually built my career understanding that stars are people too.
I think that's where I usually get over it. I've always kind of had that understanding. Like as a kid, like even when you girl crazy, I never thought a famous woman was any more bigger than anybody else.
Right.
I just always looked at it like if I can get in a room where I could get her.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because if we both in a VIP, why she gonna turn me down? You know, like I'm only here because I could be here, right?
Right.
So what we doing? Right. And that's how I always looked at people because at the end of the day, they go through shit too.
Yep. They do.
They go through shit. They shit stink too.
They just on a higher. They just on a higher level. Thing just of doing business. That's all. You know that, and that's all this is. There. It's a game of business, and if you put your business together, you can play those kind of games too. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Every level has its advantages and disadvantages. At my level, doing independent films has a great advantage because all my thoughts, my ideas, my energy, all goes into my film, and nobody can take it away from me.
Absolutely.
I don't have other companies dictating what I can say, how I can say it.
What they ain't be talking about.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's the plus of being an independent filmmaker. The minus of being an independent filmmaker is
Burning
once again
out credit cards.
Yeah. but it's a new trend, you know, and you can learn from people like Waka Flocka. The insurance, you know, basically learning how to use whole life insurance to fund your business.
Yeah, because you can take out a loan against you.
Yes.
Just like you,
and you don't have to pay taxes.
Do with these 401ks, but your life insurance is a better thing to do it with.
Yep.
Different interest rates.
Oh wow.
Way different penalties. Any questions from my Jay? She said, "Hey, learn it."
I'm sitting here learning. I'm just like, and you did okay.
This is my 6th film, so think about it. You know, from one film, 100 people, to now my 5th film.
8 theaters sold out in one building.
That's what I'm saying.
In one city.
That's
shit don't even make no sense.
right.
That's like that's like watching Kevin Hart go from the Laugh House to stadiums.
No, real stuff. That went by pretty fast.
Well, I interviewed Kevin Hart right in front of the Transit nightclub. That's on YouTube. Like before he even blew up with the Soul Plane and everything. First person to interview Meek Mills. Meek can tell you. First, the funny thing, I gotta give a shout out to Meek because I was in his We Ball video.
Okay.
And I was dressed in Muslim garb, but when I came up to him, He wasn't fraud. He didn't do any of those things.
Mm-hmm.
He said, "Yo, EQ." He remembered his EQ, not Dante, Diesel, Jermaine Quick. He said, "Yo, EQ, you still doing your music?"
Remember EQ films,
right? He said, "You still doing your music?" And that just blew me away because at that time he was going through so many things. Mm-hmm. I ain't gonna remember a little guy like me at this point. I'm little compared to what he's doing.
No, that's dope.
But that was his spirit, and I'm gonna forever be a fan of his music because I like his music anyway. But personally, I'm always backing whatever he's doing because he's conscious of where he's at. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Too, he always looked back. You feel me? So everybody, that's just my personal opinion. And you gotta remember, I grew up with all these guys when they was young with the braids and
I remember, you know what I'm saying? When used to run up on me and my man like, yo, I got some shit because he was cool. He was my man, young boy. And it's just like, I'm happy to see him win.
Exactly.
I want him to win. Like you don't. If you look at Philly history during his time of rap, there's only a handful of dudes that's like, yo, they really put the work in and they deserve whatever they get from it. You know what I mean? The fact that there's still thousands of videos of him with nappy braids and everybody keeps talking about it and he done had money for a long time. That was his 10,000, 100,000 hours right there. We seen it. Yep. We got to watch that shit. You see what I'm saying? That was the first generation of you being able to watch a young rapper progression in real time. There wasn't a thing before that.
Right.
It wasn't. And as soon as Jay got Chris, he on the radio screaming he only 16. We've been watching 16-year-olds in this city go crazy the whole time. Chris wasn't the first one.
No, not at all.
Even though Chris is one of the illest ever.
Most definitely.
Not to take anything, but just from what we were seeing through the DVD phase and all of that shit, we was watching young animals.
I mean, when I was in the scene doing the DVD magazine when Major Figures came out. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? To Gil, that was their highlight. You know, I hated how things went down and how everything manifested, but I believe if they was allowed to be on the next plane back then, we would have a different Philly.
Absolutely. I think a lot of things went wrong at one time, yo, and it was like a lot of our rappers were still living the shit they was doing, so that caught up with them, getting locked up for random shit or for big shit. It was just everybody got booked at one time. Yep. You know what I mean? A lot of stuff just happened that was like, man, if we would have kept the momentum from the time when Remember Them Days came out. Mm-hmm. Remember that summer when Remember Them Days came out?
The Greek picnic.
And the Figures was popping. Most Wanted was bubbling. Yep. Off the Hook Records was doing their thing. Diamond District was doing their thing. Everybody had something going on. Yep. You know what I mean? 100X was still kind of around. It was like a lot
and that was my group. Shout out to 100X. Listen, all right. So I know I'm gonna go back even further. Let's go back even further. Shout out to Bobby Dance.
Absolutely.
I was the night manager at Bobby Dance, and I contribute. I contribute that to my friend Barry Bolds, the Bolds family, because he was my best friend. He could dance. I could dance. We got a group together. Well, not me and him, but he had an idea for a group. He called us 50 Deep, and we all came together. We would go to clubs and battle everybody. It was real dope. But I end up sliding into being a night manager at Dance's nightclub. Bobby liked me. He said, "I'm gonna put you back there." But I also got to open up for every show. So I met Jay-Z. I opened up for Jay-Z when he used to wear Hawaiian shirts. Right. My MOP when they was first came out. You know what I'm saying to you? So I remember Dance's was at 7th and Filbert before the Federal Building was there. Right. That's the Federal Building now that you see. But before that, it was a little club right there.
Dances had 3 locations.
3 locations. We had 13th and Vine, and then we had Broad Street. Mm-hmm. So Watch Street. So at the end of the day, I was there through that whole movement, through the whole Ram Squad movement. I was there. You know what I'm saying?
And Richard Allen used to be deep in dances.
Deep in dances all day. And
we used to be deep from uptown. They used to be deep, and we'd be wilding and pushing them back. And by the end of the night, we just had to respect each other because it's like nobody else in here is 50 deep but us. Right. Like it used to, speaking of 50 deep, but the Richard Allen niggas, that was their club. If you came in there, a few of y'all might have had a problem.
Yeah, I was excited to work because I got to know everybody. DJ Boo, and DJ Touchtone worked there. Yep. Casper, DJ Casper.
People forget. Everybody remember Casper because Casper he had a lot going on with the women's back then. Right. But Touchtone was definitely there. People forgot he was there.
Yeah, he was there. But me and Touchtone friends today. Like I call it. He was in my 4th movie, American Bully.
Touch is super legend, man.
No, Change the Beat. He was in the 3rd movie. Yeah, he's definitely a super
legend.
You know, the DJ, the blind DJ. I used to do a lot of work I used to do his EPK packs. So I got to meet Jazzy Jeff. I got to meet a lot of people. I used to work for 100.3 The Beat behind the beats. I used to be with Moni Love and Kobe Cole, and I used to record Bow Wow, Fat Joe, you name it, whoever came, B5. I got all that footage, like literally.
One of the weirdest parties I ever went to was Moni Love's birthday party.
Banging.
That was like the week after she got fired.
Oh, that's
You remember that, John? It was like a white party. It was a linen party or some shit, and it was at the one. What is it? That building, one whatever the fuck it is. Right.
I know exactly what you're talking
right
about.
Right down there on the campus by the college. Yo, nice as shit. Everybody there fly as shit, but the energy was like weird.
It was weird because nobody expected that.
Nobody seen that shit coming, man.
I guess not.
And I remember being there. You was there, were you?
Yeah, I was everywhere.
I'm pretty sure I was there with City. I'm
I'm
pretty sure I was there with City and Led and them.
I was everywhere, man. And I don't know, just the whole vibe, but just even I work with Partner 89 as well. When they used to do the Peace on the Streets and had all the artists come out. I had Trey Songz when he just blew up with a song. We did an interview down at the hotel down on 17th and what's that, Chestnut Street.
He is a kid.
Yeah, he was a kid. Like all of these people I had an opportunity to touch, and even with being with Urban Expressions, I had a chance to interview Donnell Jones, Remy Ma at the airport. We did her, you know.
You called Remy at the airport?
At the airport. A young Remy before she got arrested, too. And she was on her gum smacking, New York vibe, like literally. But she vibed out.
Point me to the closest blunt, Remy.
Yeah. But she vibed out with me. We had a great interview, man. It was an awesome interview. I did a lot of people. But not even to go on that tangent. But that during that time, that's when DVD was popping. But when I started the movies, the only person that had a movie out was my man Jamal Hill with Money, Power, and Respect. You know what I'm saying to you, and that inspired me. That movie and Tales from the Hood, that inspired me as well. And I said, you know what, I can do this, and that's what made me pick up that little camera and say and talk. And my niche was, if I get the hottest people to believe in me, then I shoot them, everybody else gonna fall in place. And it worked. And I've been doing that ever since.
That's what most smart businessmen do. They'll get the big name attached and then they'll shop the big name to all the names under it.
Exactly.
Like, what do you mean? LeBron's already on board. And once you say LeBron on board, who the fuck am I to not be a part of something that LeBron then signed up for? Like, it works.
It makes sense.
It's business.
It's just business. Smart business sense. And even with this film, I used like my man Simon One Punch Carr. He's in this film.
Shout out One Punch, that's my guy.
Yeah, he's everywhere. You know what I'm saying?
Where you at?
And
Selfie Kingpin.
I definitely wanted to help him promote his new boxing gym.
Right.
Down Northeast. So we put that in the movie. You know what I'm saying to you? It's the movie is packed. It's called Sugar. You know what I'm saying? But we talk about a major issue. The reason why it's winning all of these global awards.
This is why I wanted my J here.
I'm like this. Tell me more.
Let's get into what the movie is about.
So the movie's about she's a female successful boutique owner by day, and she's a vigilante by night. She helps battered and abused women. It's based on domestic violence. All my movies have topics and issues. Bullying was on Fox 29 News for I'm the only black filmmaker in Philly that got a 3-minute sprint on Fox 29. Shout out to Joyce Evans.
Shout out to that. That was dope.
You know what I'm saying? Wow. That was my 4th film. My 5th film was called Heartless, and I won the Los Angeles Motion Picture Award for that one. And that was pre-COVID or during COVID. And I kind of had to sit down for a minute because COVID made everybody sit down. And so I was working on this mastermind, which is...
Got you to sit down and start thinking.
Yeah, but we got a whole package for this. You know what I'm saying to you? It's not just a movie. I made it into a comic book. So it's a comic book series. You know what I'm saying? And we also got puzzles. I didn't bring the puzzles today. You know what I'm saying? But we got gear. As you see, I got the jacket on, the Sugar logo and jackets. You know, we got merch and we got hoodies, all that, and with the cast members on it. And so my whole niche with making these films is not just about me, but the cast members get exposure where they never would get. I mean, like I said, we're across the globe. You're not going to get that kind of exposure anywhere. You know what I'm saying? It's not just about being on the big screen, but it's about getting it out to the masses so that when you try to go get work, you are already reputable. You know what I'm saying to you? So,
and rest in peace to, how do you say your mom's name?
Janie.
Janie?
Yeah, Janie Mae Quick. So the what makes the movie personal for me is because I see my mom go through domestic violence growing up as a child. Named Janie, and so I went through child abuse because of it, and I ended up living in a group home from the ages of 7 to 18. And so the next time I got to see my mom, I was 18 and I just had my first son. And she died right after she saw my son. But her last words to me was, make sure you take care of him. And so since I didn't have a father in my life because my mom was raped. Feel me? And so the cycles of these things, what made me strong is understanding it.
Absolutely.
Not rebelling against it to where I become heartless, but understanding it and understanding that I'm not the only one. Some people can't talk about it because it's so deep and it's hurting to them. But the reason why I've learned to talk about it is because I can't begin to even help myself. Help others if I can't help myself. And so therefore, once I learned to deal with the fact that dysfunction is in many families, what makes it functional is how to get on top of your game. And I've learned how to get on top of my game. My son follows my footsteps. He understands what happened, that at my earlier stages in life, I didn't have the knowledge and the know-how to be the perfect father. But now that I am at a level that I can be the best father I can possibly be, now he can get the knowledge necessary to grow. And I think that a lot of our young men out here that's battling family violence, domestic violence, we have to first understand that when we damage a woman, we damage our children. Okay, there's some young kid out there with a gun. He ready to kill and shoot everybody because he really got some hurt on his heart. Because maybe his mom didn't love him the way he wanted to be loved, and maybe she couldn't do that because she was distracted herself because she was dealing with a relationship or a situation that she couldn't get out of or that was detrimental to her. Okay, and that trickles down. Every man got their game from a woman. So at the end of the day, if we take it upon
the game was fucked up, it's gonna still be fucked up.
It's still gonna be fucked up. And if
we can't make a good copy of a bad picture, it's impossible.
Impossible. So if every man starts to think that every time we hit a woman, we put our children in jeopardy, we would stop hitting women.
I would think so many ways you could go with that. I think that when you say understanding, the understanding that you had to have, once you have that understanding, and I'm not even speaking from a domestic violence or an abuse situation, just in general about shortcomings and dysfunction in general, anything that went wrong from your upbringing. When you understand it, then you can understand that you have blessings outside of the shortcomings and the bullshit. And I think that a lot of ways you're an example of this brother been blessed so many ways to come up out of that.
Right.
You had so many tools in you. You see what I'm saying? And we've all had help, but you got to make yourself available for help. You have to be somebody people want to help. You know what I mean? Like that's part of you too. So even with that, you deserve that. That's another blessing.
True that.
So it's like just listening to it is like, people gotta understand, man. Apply yourself to some shit, man.
No, right.
So
get lost in something that you fuck with, man.
Where did my energy come from? I think when I turned 11, I was in the group home in Frankfurt. It's called St. Joseph Home for Boys, and breakdancing just came out. And the New York
breakdancing just came out. It's hilarious.
New York,
like it's an album.
That's
how hip hop was. Like shit just came out the sky. Like, this is what we doing.
That's what we doing.
This is part of that.
Yeah. So
all right.
I was New York City Breakers had a poster to teach you how to breakdance.
Oh, you was really serious about the breakdance.
No, like the sexual position posters or the barbershop posters and shit. There was a breakdancing poster which taught you how to kick.
Taught you how to pop, the whole nine, the windmill, everything. And so we would, all the kids would be, and we would cut up a cardboard box, and we would sit there and practice the moves in the group home. Because we couldn't go nowhere, so, practice.
You always find a box.
Always find a box.
You ain't got to pay for no boxes.
Wow.
Yo, that was the thing.
Box on the way home from school.
Yeah, that was the thing,
Shit, that shit saved a lot of motherfuckers' lives. When you think about it, a lot of the DJs that's successful now say they started out breakdancing. A lot, like it's so many people that they
Puffy
got.
Was a dancer.
Really?
They got it. Yeah, Puffy was a background dancer, and so was Tupac.
I can't picture them like really dancing.
You can't picture him on the stage dancing. Remember that song?
He never stopped dancing.
He never stopped
dancing. Or whatever you wanted to call it.
Puff used to create his own dances in the late 90s, early 2000s.
Wow.
Because he was literally the guy that used to be with the other guy. They slap hands and do a split,
Yep.
get back up, and then
That was him.
start doing them. Like he was one of them with a box.
Oh, wow.
Like Big Daddy
Gumby.
Kane and Scoop and Scratch.
Yeah, Scoop and Scratch. They used to be with Big Daddy K. He bought him out on the verses too. That was dope.
Yeah, that was dope.
That was ill.
Yeah, so
See, my hip hop knowledge is older than me.
and I'm vibing over this because I'm like, oh yeah, he remembers this stuff like this.
See,
No, I know
I'm
this
the
stuff.
younger crowd. So like when you had the DVD 2 Raw,
No, he had Illadel.
No, Illadel
the Illadel Stop. Okay, so like as a kid, like you'd be surprised of what you see. We didn't know nothing about video anything, and then we started seeing a lot of stuff that had to do with recording a person. It's like, what made them record that? Like, why are they recording it? Who is he? Now we gotta look into who is he. All right, he must be somebody because he's recorded on.
Yeah, because somebody
we're kids.
cares enough to put a camera
like,
on.
Oh, he must be important. Okay, so let's look this person up. Oh, he is somebody. He's a battle rapper. Later on, that's the same one as battle rapper. Now he's a star. But it all came from looking at the video. So I get it.
Because like even now,
I was the weird kid that thought outside the box and be like, well, what made him do that?
because even now,
Why?
like she's around
Now I
Ness.
can ask you.
She around
Why?
Ness, Kaboom, all type of people. Like last night, Ness and Kaboom was where we was at.
Oh, for real?
You know what I mean? Because they be around, and it's like I'm pretty sure these are references that she saw
like,
on the DVDs
oh my
when she was
gosh,
coming
I
up.
remember you.
Now, I'm a little older, so I was in and out of the same rooms that they were. For them, it's probably like,
It's
you
different
that
for us.
guy.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
That's
crazy.
funny because I used to record Touch Money.
Yeah,
Now, to
Touch
think
Money.
about
Touch
it.
Money had a movement.
Yeah,
Though.
they did.
They had a
Everybody-
movement. Yo.
You know, I'm the one that did the Out Here Grinding video. People don't even recognize
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Really?
I'm the one that did that video. Yes, and we had 600,000 views.
Ain't
before
that their
views-
biggest video?
Yeah, that but they had 600,000 views on World Star before views became a thing.
Yeah.
See what I mean? I'm in the era where views is everything.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You was in the era where it was just like, you know.
We was trying to figure out what the hell it
What is
meant.
it?
We didn't even know if
I
it
was
was
already there.
monetizable.
Yeah,
That's
you was
me.
before
We
the
looked at it as
time.
marketing. We didn't even look at it as a check.
Yes.
Like if you made World Star, now you have some traction because people in the world have seen you.
Yes.
Nobody
Right.
was even worried about the fact that World Star just got 2 million views and how much they get paid for that. Nobody even
Right.
cared yet.
Nope.
It was
We
that
didn't know.
early.
At that early.
It was that early.
I was on
Before your
MySpace
time.
buzzing that early.
And MySpace is like something as a kid that we did do that was interesting. So just imagine.
And see, back them days, I hated social media.
I love
I wouldn't get on MySpace. I was on Black Planet, but somebody else set up my
was on there
page.
too.
And the squad had a page, so we used to like. They used to try to get girls on the job, but I never was good at like internet pimping. Like I don't know what to say. That's
You gotta be real life.
like yeah, like I'm more of an in-person type of dude, so it didn't work for me. So then MySpace came out. I'm like, Black Planet was whack. I'm cool,
Right.
But a quick little funny story. Son of the 215 of them used to be on it all the time. We used to be in the studio together back then.
Okay.
So we convinced Son to make a song called "I Met Her on MySpace."
Okay.
He was mad as shit. Song actually was fire.
Really?
Are you serious?
I would
Yo,
love to
Son
hear it.
is one of the illest motherfuckers because he can make a song to and
Son-
about anything.
Someone is definitely.
He
You know,
ain't-
he was in a Heartless. He was in Heartless.
Son of the 215 was?
SUNWUN.
No, Son of the 215.
Oh, I'm sorry.
He's younger. Son 1 is my man though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know Son was in one of your joints. Yeah, Son 1 is my man.
He
Son
good.
1 the one that put me in Concrete Soldiers. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. He definitely good man. Shout out to
No,
someone.
he dope. But no, it's funny because MySpace was a thing. Like it was fucking up studio time at one point.
It was. And yes, it was.
Like
We used to
Facebook
live in
and
the studio.
Instagram.
Niggas
Yes.
we only had one computer. Niggas used to be like, yo, let me check my page. All right, I'm on that. No, we not doing this all night, yo.
Are you serious?
Yeah, MySpace was the
It
that
was
was the
crazy.
plug during that time. Yeah.
And you was lit on there.
Yeah,
You and Wiz Khalifa.
Listen, I'm trying to tell you, like, all I know is from MySpace, when it jumped to Twitter and then Facebook and then Instagram and
Did
then
it
Snapchat,
translate? Did your crowd follow you?
it's half and half.
Mm.
I had to get
You
a
gotta
whole
learn
new.
it.
I had to reinvent myself. So, all right, so we start off as EQ Philly.
Mm-hmm.
We ran that for a minute. Then I started doing the films, and it's like, all right, I can't tell people directed by EQ Philly because that was really my rap name.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like, all right, I got to use my government name to make that pop. So I did EQ Films.
Mm-hmm.
And then I reinvented myself and called myself Dante Diesel. Went with a tattoo so I could believe in myself. and the whole nine. And I said, all right, because Dante is my middle name. Okay. And so I said, all right, I reinvent my name, and then I do that, and then social media takes off in a different avenue, and now I'm totally somebody else that nobody knows about, but they want to know. And so now they checking my music now, right? So I'm getting higher streams on Spotify. And got to remember, I'm still independent. So I was putting out my own music. I was going through the channels of CD Baby and DistroKid and all those things to put the music out, right? And so at that time, still, everybody wasn't on that wave still. Everybody's still trying to get a deal. You know what I'm saying to you? And I was already doing the independent thing. So I got to grasp and learn how to get mechanical royalties, how to go about getting the paperwork done, the whole nine, whereas people was just signing, not even understanding what they were signing, you know, and I got to learn it because I was being the independent. And so, like I said, the difference between being independent is everything comes from you. Everything. I mean, if you don't know something, it's your fault. Now, when you get signed, you expect your manager, you expect the road manager, you expect the company to have your back. So you get kind of comfortable with that. Independent, you never get comfortable because you're always looking for where that next avenue to make the next dollar to make sure that you got multiple streams of revenue coming in.
Two things. One, is ironic that you're telling her that because we manage her. She's a singer and a rapper and a beautiful personality in general. Awesome. And also, 15 minutes before y'all got here, I got a phone call. Yo, somebody sent me an email. They want me to sign this situation with this situation and nah. And I said, all right, so with that kind of deal, are you aware of what you should be looking for to fit your situation? Not that I know what it is, but do you know? He said, nah, I kind of wanted to sit down with y'all and figure, you know, cool, no problem. But that's the first question. Because you don't want to be the dumbest motherfucker on a Zoom call if you could prevent it. So when you said if you don't know something, it's your fault. It ain't necessarily your fault. It's your job to figure it the fuck out, find out who knows it. You see what I'm saying? That's your job. Because at that point, if you don't do that, you're operating at a disadvantage. That's like trying to deliver shit with 3 wheels.
And that's it in a nutshell. Yeah, you definitely, it's your job to make sure that everything goes right.
Yeah.
And so like even running this, you got to understand we're about to have a premiere that's going to bring out a lot of people.
The date is?
June 16th.
Right.
At the Ritz.
Right.
Listen, doing this, I swear to you, it takes so much energy. If you want to talk about energy, I have sacrificed so much in my life to bring about enough energy to even create a film from start to finish. I'm gonna forget it. I wrote it. I directed it. I shot it. I did the sound score. I did the cinematography.
He dealt with 30 to 50 different personalities.
You know what I'm saying? Many hats. The marketing. You feel what I'm saying to you? The comic book. You know what I'm saying to you? So the website. When you go to the website, it's a full-fledged website. Colorful pictures, everything, the whole nine. You know what I'm saying to you? And I learned all of that by going to school, one, and then also putting in the legwork to make it happen while working a 9-to-5 job. Let me emphasize that because people always talk about the starving artist. Well, the artist is starving because he's not hungry enough to get up and get something. The first thing in his mind, he's thinking, I don't want to work for somebody. I need to make this clear. Everybody that's out there, you will always work for someone because as a servant or as a business owner, you're providing a service. So you're working for whoever comes to you for the service.
Yeah, either way. Even if you don't work for them, you work for them.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
Either way.
Either way. Or I mean, I guess there's things that you could do in the bubble nowadays, but usually take more schooling than we willing to.
You're gonna have to work for that, man. You're gonna have to work for that. Shout out to all the cast members, man. We're gonna have awards. It's red carpet, so we're gonna have the awards come out.
You always got red carpet,
and you gotta dress. You
always got red carpets.
You gotta dress up. No sneaks, no jeans, all of that. Yeah. You gotta dress up, throw it on, and definitely be bringing Hollywood to Philly as we always do. Listen. All I know is we downtown now. So it's a different swag. You feel what I'm saying to you now? We did 69th Street. We showed you the power of that. Now we downtown. You feel me? And we're gonna bring a different swag. We're gonna bring some love, some positive energy, and we're gonna show them that we on that next level.
And it's a different way to do the red carpet because I'm just looking at the aesthetics of both of the buildings. That's gonna be like so crazy because like just like that one lobby area that the Ritz got. You know what I'm talking about?
Listen,
It ain't nowhere to be but there until somewhere else to be. So the door's open. That's gonna be lit.
All I'm saying to you is
That's
you need to be there.
Dream.
You need to be there. It's sweet,
and
man.
you get to see a good film before everybody else pick up on it because it's at 40 film festivals. Like 40 something about to happen.
Listen, in New York, this month we up for 16 awards. This month alone. This month alone, we up for 16.
How does that feel? It's just like you said that, but like, dude, is that real to you?
I was talking to my assistant, and I said to her that nothing has hit me yet, and I'm just gonna be humble about it for real, because God is my witness. I don't know what it feel like to win in Rome.
Talk about it.
I don't know what it feel like to win in Greece.
But how does it feel to already be acknowledged? The nomination is acknowledgement. How about that? Like the win is in the work. It's something that me and Del P always say to each other.
We already
but the acknowledgement.
Yeah, so
from motherfuckers that you couldn't, if they told you a sentence that wasn't from your movie, you wouldn't know what the fuck they were saying.
Right. So like I said, it hasn't hit me yet. And I think the humbleness for me is recognizing that it's still God's will, whatever it's going to be. Absolutely. And so it hasn't hit me yet because I haven't had time to sit down because we still making it
still moving. Yeah, I dig that, and I don't think you the type to rest on your laurels. I don't think you the type that even when you recognize it, it's not going to stop anything. But you definitely have to understand that you just said where you come from.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Humble beginnings.
And you're not the first person, but anybody that's ever seen it, ever been a part of anything, they know that shit ain't easy. Nothing's promised. Nothing's guaranteed. You bet on yourself you like fucking Bernard Hopkins. Right. Bet the house on my own fight. You see what I'm saying? Like I gotta win this fight because my house is on me.
Right.
Like it's a different energy. It's a different mentality that comes from that. Like that's what I mean when I'm like, yo, minus the bullshit, you had everything that you needed. You just had to figure out which way to go with it
and how to put it in perspective.
And that's ill. That's ill because you've been
recognizing
still have the
energy to do it. So
and you're still not there yet. No, like you still not like the goal is way loftier than where we at. I'm sure.
Right.
But like, nigga, you skipping steps.
Leaps and bounds.
You skipping steps.
But you know what is no weapon formed against me shall prosper. So,
ever.
So my mentality is always focused. You know what I'm saying? I know what my goal is. I'm running an intern program now that I'm helping youth learn the business. I also every other Tuesdays I work with Lucinda Trotter.
Wonder Woman.
I talk to her at-risk youth, and I'm
Wonder Woman. I'm tapping in with them soon too.
Oh yeah, every year I hire them for the movie premiere, so you'll see some of those kids at the movie premiere, and they're taking you to your seat.
I met some of them young men. I met about a handful of them. She brought past the radio station. I mean, they kids, man, they dope. Like, it's just like, they're so fun. You know what I mean? They be on their own little, but they us. If you really dig it, like, they're us, man. We gotta.
They went through a lot of trauma and haven't placed it. But when they get to see something more than what they're normally seeing, it wakes them up a little bit.
Yep. You can see it. Yeah. You really see it. Yep. Like, because I know who's sneaky and who do what. But at the same time, when they around us, total respect. They play their part and they joke with each other. That's fine. Because that'll get you at the movie premiere working. You know what I mean? Things like that. Because you know how to behave yourself and we can figure out things to get you further in life as far as a man. Just even if it's a couple conversations you need to have with some people. We can tell you who to sit down with. And, like I said, those blessings are the things that we have to provide for others, man.
Well, I'm always get back. It's been in my nature, man. Woman, definitely, yeah, most definitely. I'm always get back because it's in my nature to do that. And even with these films, I'm giving back. Like I said, helping artists and actors, rappers get exposure that they never would normally get. That's just giving back in itself. But the love of it is that we get to do a film that the world gets to recognize.
Absolutely,
that's on a whole nother scale. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to social media.
Word.
You know what I'm saying? Like I said, it's a gift and a curse. You know what I'm saying? If it wasn't for social media, we about to start a TV station, all that. You know what I mean?
But you know what social media is? It's like a gun or any other weapon. It's designed to be a tool, but it can hurt you.
Yes.
Yep.
It could be used for wrong, all type of things can be done with this tool that was made for a specific purpose or whatever, or that you could have used for a specific purpose, I should say, because I don't know what it was made for.
Right.
But with this tool that you could have used for a positive purpose, it can also be the same. Oh, they say you pointing that way, it's 3 of them pointing back at you. Like, this gun could turn around. And then it'll get crazy, and now you don't know how to deal with that, or now you're taking all the losses, and everybody else is coming up off of you. And that's a bad place to be in, man. It's a bad place to be in.
I think the reinvention of oneself it only becomes because what is meant to grow will grow.
It should grow.
You know, we a world within a world. You feel what I'm saying to you? Like animals have their own little world.
That
Ants
is
got
so
their own
true.
world.
Flowers
We're a world within a world. And our world grows if we want it to. It's all in you, whatever you want to determine. I say Grammy, it will come. I feel that. You know what I'm saying to you? I told people I was going to put a comic book together. A lot of people say it, but I manifest it. You know what I'm saying? So I don't just talk about it, I do it. I never promise anybody that anything that I can't do, and I never put myself in a position of something that I can't do for the simple fact that people depend on me. So if you depend on me, I'm going to be there. I got to do what I need to do.
Now let's have a distribution conversation.
Let's have that.
What? Because it's shifted dramatically in the last handful of years, I would say.
I want to tell you so much about that.
So like, yeah, what was your progression through distribution, movie wise?
Before,
because I know if we go back to '98, if we talk about overall, I mean,
all right. So movie wise, my third film. Shout out to Rob Schwartz of Who Mag Magazine.
Yeah, I know Rob.
We were at the time. Me and Rob was talking heavy, and he said he knew a guy.
Rob is who Del P is signed to for reference.
That's my man, Rob.
Big Del.
Really?
Yeah, no, like I can call him right now.
Rob is good folks.
Okay.
And I've been in his office and all that.
You know what I'm saying?
Rob been around.
I can call you right now.
Yeah.
That's my man.
Yeah.
Me and him was videoing back in the day when remember they used to have Super Sunday on the Parkway.
Yep.
I used to film all that stuff
She don't
too.
remember.
I was
I
really
remember.
young.
Yeah, but that's what we used to do.
Really?
Matter of fact, they don't even let us on the Parkway no more. They don't want no more color up there. Okay, name it. So anyway,
Hey now.
So back in the day, oh wait a minute, I kind of threw myself off.
No, you was talking about on your third film. We talking about.
All right, so Rob Schwartz got distribution through a guy in New York, Shammy Media Group. He got our movie Change the Beat on that distribution.
Okay.
First time I ever had a distribution deal such as this, where I was in every Best Buy, every Target, every FYE. And this was before, like I said to you, everybody's doing a film now, but nobody was doing it big like that at that time that I did it.
No, that's a big deal.
You know what I'm saying?
Because I remember what times we talking about.
You know what I mean? I was in every store popping at it. You know, so now I learned from that when you start doing the business side of that, I had to break off bread with me and Rob. I had to break off bread with the company. And then I look at my cut and I'm like, okay. All right.
Can I make another movie?
Right. You know what I'm saying? So we learned about that. So, but at the end of the day, it was a valuable experience. It taught me more business sense about it. So then by my fourth film, I said, I'm going to want to be the first one in the city on Amazon. And I end up having American Bully hit the news and then going from there to Los Angeles and then going to Amazon. Right? American Bully was on Amazon. So it was up there for a year. No, 2 years. I'm sorry. It was up there for 2 years. It was viewed 44,000 minutes the first year.
Okay.
I made $40.
44,000 minutes.
Yeah, the movie is 90 minutes long.
Sound like YouTube prices. Go ahead.
Right. I was getting paid.
Shit, trust me.
0.006 cents.
They can hold on to it for a little longer.
0.006 cents on penny. I was getting paid per minute per stream.
Streaming prices.
Damn.
Right.
Them streaming numbers.
So
Jeez.
I took the movie immediately off of Amazon, right? And then that's when everybody else started putting their stuff up there and doing everything. And I put it on my website. The first month I put it up there, and people bought the movie for $4.99 or $10.99 to have the whole thing, or rent it for $4.99, $10.99.
Yeah, I was about to say. Yeah.
In the first month, I made $4,500.
Way bigger difference. But do you think that the traction built from Amazon helped that, or do you think you should have did that initially?
I think I should have did that initially because I didn't know.
Because you think that you bought the traction.
There was no
anyway.
Because first of all, Amazon don't give you marketing
at all. You're
all
not
you
guaranteed the top spot on nothing,
Exactly.
the big picture, none of that.
Your
shit.
movie is just sitting
you gotta
there.
pay for that.
You got to pay for that. Your movie is just sitting there. So just like YouTube, if you don't tell nobody to go to your link, your movie is your video is just
so
sitting there.
motherfuckers have to search to find something
You have
like
to
what he's putting out.
Exactly.
And mind you popped up at near the top a couple times though while you was on it.
Of course. No reason why is because I had to pay for the marketing.
Okay.
Bottom line is
all right. So that makes sense.
You pay what you weigh.
I told you I was paying attention, bro.
Right. You pay what you weigh. You know what I'm saying to you? But this whole game is you pay what you weigh. There is nothing,
which is fine because third party marketing is a part of everything.
Everything.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But they learned how to capitalize.
You want to keep throwing parties for everybody. You know, you only going to make a certain amount of money.
Right.
I don't care what you do. Third party marketing is a part of everything that you do when you're trying to grow.
And it's acceptable.
That's why I asked if it was because it was a possibility that maybe it did, but based on what you said, it absolutely did.
No. But it's acceptable. But you have to understand that third-party marketing has to be the right type of marketing for what you're trying to do. Because you can waste a lot of money in these third-party marketing because a lot of them don't reach your demographics.
So there's no return. You got somebody that'll pop on it, but they have no reason to go back to it because they don't even they wouldn't have been looking for it in the first place.
Exactly. Yes. So it's a lot to it.
And then you start dealing with ratios. So how many out of how many when I go this way stick? How many out of how many when I go this way stick? Yep. All right, so I got to find something in here that's priced around here.
Yep.
And then with that in mind, knowing that I'm gonna do the next thing bigger, I gotta consider that too. Cause am I building a relationship or am I going another route? All these things matter. Like
everything. And you have to look into each demographic of it too. So
and you just sing. You don't just sing. You do a million things. But like when you sing, you literally don't think about these things. When you're singing, you know how many people in a room is thinking about their benefit if they could get in on the business from these things that you're not even thinking about.
Right.
That's why I'd be like, yo, talk to my people. Like, it's crazy. Motherfuckers know what's out there better than we do sometimes.
Exactly.
So I'm not putting it at you. I mean, I'm just learning a lot of this shit.
Of course.
A lot of it.
Well,
because it just changed in the last 10 years. Everything shifted.
Everything definitely shifted.
We was talking about, remember when 360 deals in music was like, everybody was like, well, what's a 360? What's a 360? And then it was like, well, that could be good or bad. By the time it got to it could be good or bad, it was a whole nother regime of shit going on. We was talking about how much streams paid.
Yeah.
As soon as we figured out the ways that this new way could benefit or not benefit you, there was another thing going on that was looking like it was running up and nobody was getting anything from it.
Right. And I'm telling you right now.
Because you don't want to sign a 360, I'll get 99.6% of your shit.
Yep. Right now, if you look at it, this market that we're in is about to change too. And so when you talk about distribution and the
streaming numbers is going to change. You're going to get a fucking check. They're going to owe you money soon.
Yeah, I know.
All this stuff is going to court.
Yeah.
It's going to get adjusted. They're going to at least have to give you 25 cents.
Yep.
So if you got 4,000 before, then they owe you another fucking.
You know what I'm saying? But I say to myself now, being ahead of the game, like right now, a lot of people in Philly, a lot of filmmakers in Philly don't even understand how to get on Film Freeway, put their movie up there, and try to solicit to somebody.
Film Freeway?
Yeah, Film Freeway. Filmfreeway.com.
Okay.
And this is an international film festival. So that means you can be in Sundance, you can be at Toronto Film Fest, the LA Film Festival, New York Film Festivals. These are top-notch film festivals that guarantee you a spot or at least a nomination for an Oscar.
And this is why you can't be too cool to talk to people just because you or they're viewed as your competition.
Oh, I've learned that in the city all day. Everybody looks at me as competition, but they don't understand I'm the most humblest guy. Like, I'll give you information that you need so you can get going. You know what I'm saying to you? I don't need to hold anything back. My life is already good. I'm in my own lane. I'm chilling. I'm doing my music. I'm doing my movies. I'm making money. I'm good.
I'm into that too, bro. I'm cool. Into that too because when it comes to the point where I feel like I have to hoard shit, like that kind of stuff,
right?
Then I'm blocking blessings at some point.
Of course.
Because you never know what could come out of a knowledge or a conversation.
Exactly.
Never know.
Exactly. It don't hurt you at all. I mean, you gotta, if you want to blow, you gotta invest in yourself. If you don't invest in yourself, ain't nobody else gonna believe in you. So yes, I invest in myself and people believe in it.
Absolutely. And like I said, I'm telling you from early on when he rapped, what was it, a van? You got a van or a Jeep?
I had I got a Chevy Traverse now. Shout out to Chevy, man. I need a check. But anyway, I had a Chevy Venture.
The first one was a Venture?
Yeah, I had a Chevy Venture.
Yeah, that sound about right.
Right, and I took this van. I bought it for $4,500, and I went down Kensington and got me a van. And man, I wrapped that joint. I had it for 9 years, man.
But think about the fact. Think about when only big companies was on the rapping stuff. We talking about Red Bull, Gatorade was
Monster.
rapping shit. Monster was rapping shit.
They used to pull me over and ask me who I work for.
My
So
man
I
rapped.
work for myself. What you mean?
My man rapped a
Really?
My man rapped the Honda Odyssey. It was Sprite green. He wrapped it in you seen it before, the Gucci print. He had the silver G's all over it.
Yep.
That shit was like get pulled over every 3 blocks. Why don't you type shit? A good thing he was a good sober, like not street dude.
Right.
But that was my man. It's like back then that shit was unheard of. Unheard. I'm telling you, Monster, Gatorade, Red Bull, the motherfuckers that be at all the skate shit and all the dirt bike shit, they was into the rapping. And what used to happen was you could get a job for them driving the rap van. Mm-hmm. And what a lot of people would do, like they say, pull up to 16th and Susquehanna. Mm-hmm. You park the van there for 8 hours and go do your thing, come back and pick the van up. It's advertising. Yep. So if you're if you're independent and you rapped a hood van, motherfuckers know that you take your shit serious. Motherfuckers is waiting for you to rap the Hummer. Yeah. Like, oh, he gonna be one of them. Like, you see it already.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what we did. You
gotta take yourself serious, man. When you see somebody posters, you might see somebody that perform one night, and you riding down the Ave, you see they sticker somewhere. Then you go somewhere else, you in a bar, it's bad for me. You see they sticker, you like, this motherfucker working. Mm-hmm. It's different than them other motherfuckers that just want to keep telling everybody on Instagram they not supporting them.
Yeah, that's a lot of energy.
Because how many people get to read your van a day? How many people read your van a day?
No. 10. Well, where I travel, tens of thousands read it because I used to travel Maryland, Virginia, North Carolina. I was going different places.
So, highways of motherfuckers in the passenger seat with nothing to do but say, "What is that?
What is that?" I used to be on the highway and kids would be hollering out the window, "Look at the van! They got the van! Look!" Like, and that used to freak me out because I was like, "It's just a rap van in my mind," but to them, it's something new. Like, what is that? But by you
marketing
have the website on the side, now they going to the website to find out. That's how I was getting my sales because people was going to the website.
That's why everybody's putting their ad names on their card, but it's still an all black card with black tint. I can't even see you in it.
Right.
And you have your ad name on it. I gotta like love the card to care about your ad name. But if you put something on it that just draws me in, now I'm like, well, what is that? Just like, who is Mike Jones?
Right.
Or giving out a cell phone number, knowing that people are gonna call just to see if it's your real number.
It's your real number.
Like marketing.
Yep, marketing is everything.
And it doesn't have to be expensive. Some of it will be. It's some shit you can't get around. But some things you could just use your brain. He told you the van costs $4,500. And that's not cheap for a lot of people, but for what it did for him.
Yeah. For 9 years of marketing? Free? You know, the poster boards that you see in the sky, they cost me about $1,700 every 2 months or something like that. A grip to get one of those, right? Mm-hmm. But my van, I didn't have no note on it because I bought it straight out. I was just paying insurance.
Yep.
So that van was only costing me $175 in insurance a month. Free advertisement. You know what I'm saying?
$2,000. You talking about $2,000 a year?
Yeah. Free marketing. You know what I'm saying to you? And at the time I was doing it, nobody was doing it. It was the best time. Now that everybody else is doing it, it's still a good time to do it. But now with all the things, the drama that's going on in the community, I mean, the first guy that got killed was the guy that was on 52nd Street. He had the rap van and they ran up on him. And, you know, jealousy is just a sad thing nowadays. You know what I'm saying to you? Right. And so you have to be careful how you do things just because there's some people that don't mean you any good.
And use, when it comes to these vehicles, use it as a billboard, not the show.
Right. It has to be a reason for it. Now, when I do stuff, I only come out when I'm ready to do something. You feel what I'm saying to you? Like I'm doing something positive, constructive, but most of the time I'm on my humble tip. I'm not on.
And we not trying to stun everybody out by how much shit we put in the motherfucker. Because now that makes somebody want it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the poster.
Right.
That's it.
Damn what happens when the doors open.
Right.
You shouldn't want to see what happens when the doors open.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like,
right, no.
it should be like that. And I think that's where some people get carried away too.
Yeah. Everything is a fashion show.
Yeah. And
we got to look beyond that if we're trying to help one another. You know what I'm saying to you?
But the longer we here, the more we can do.
Yeah, exactly. I found a great way to help people, and I kind of stick into my niche. Bottom line is everybody needs an end. And if I'm the plug to make sure that people get the marketing and promotion they need, then I'm living up to that game.
So with the movie
is Sugar.
So Sugar,
yes,
she owns a boutique.
She's a female boutique owner.
At night, she running down on motherfuckers that's doing fucked up.
And she got a crew of people, a crew of men. They call the distinguished gentlemen, and basically that's who help her capture the guys that she need to capture. And she gets all her information from abuse clinic where she has people working there.
Wow.
So
this sounds like something that would be interesting.
Yeah, I know it's dope. But when it comes down to the men, so they I see from the cover this gentleman is suited.
That's her nighttime connect. That's her nighttime connect.
So that's how they rock. They suited like that.
Yeah, they suited like that. Yeah, they ain't in no thug clothes. I made sure that all the people dress up professional because we're entering professional film festivals and people want to see art. They don't want to just see good hood ghetto stuff. You know what I'm saying to you? So I learned how to mix the two. I gave you what you wanted as far as the action and the pitfalls, but I had to also give my other artistry people what they needed, which is the drama, which is the feeling and the artistic value of a film. So I've learned through all my films to do the two, and they take off. American Bully, Heartless, now Sugar, and we're doing the same method and it works. See, if you give people too much of one thing, you lose in the other. Just like, for instance, what was that photography movie that just came out?
With the chick with her with the picture from her mom.
And the guy was the photographer.
The photograph,
right? When that came out, it was a dope film. Wrong time. You have to look at the weather and see what's going on outside before you drop something. You can't go outside with an umbrella if it's sunny.
So are you willing to sit on a movie, or are you just gonna make the thing that counts at the time? So
no, I make the thing that counts at the time because I don't got enough money to be sitting on stuff.
No, that's fine. You know,
I ain't sitting on nothing.
Very well said.
I check the temperature, what's going on, and in my mind I revert back to what has happened in my life during a period such as this, and I talk about it. So right now, women are the talk. Having strong women, putting more women as leadership roles in films, all of those things, that's the talk.
They superheroes and vigilantes.
I wanted to show people exactly. So I wanted to show people that I could do that as well, but at the same time tell a real story. So domestic violence is the real story. She was abused by her husband coming up, and so that turned her into who she is. So now we're gonna talk about that and also talk about the issues behind it, but still give you some excitement, some entertainment, some fun, some shoot 'em up, whatever.
So you get education and you get
you get both.
You should get both from anything, even in Boys in the Hood.
Yeah, you got a message, and you got
definitely was a message.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
That's why people didn't like Menace, because they didn't feel like it was a real message in it.
Right.
They was like, how does Old Dog live? That makes it like, but it's like, well, that's reality, but where's the message? They was looking for a more distinct message, like Boys in the Hood had.
Right. Boys in the Hood definitely had a message.
A distinct
message. I love John Singleton. I definitely, the Hughes brothers, I love them. And I think that their films are they touch you. And so I model my films after that type of artistic ability, but I have my own craft. And my craft is being personal. And I feel as though that if I can relate to me, then other people will relate to me.
Because your lens is your lens.
Exactly.
You got to be true to your lens. Now, one of my biggest drawbacks from watching, and I don't get this from your films, but independent films a lot of the times, is they don't know how to produce or edit long-term dialogue. It drags out. There's nothing else going on. The camera angles are limited. And if they do multiple camera angles, they never match up.
Right.
And do you understand what I'm saying?
No, I understand.
Do you see it when you watch certain things?
Yes.
Like, and we could be good, but then you drive me out with something that's like, you're trying to tell me the whole story in a conversation, for one. And that's obvious. It's not a necessary dialogue. It's we couldn't get this shit in and we want you to understand the story. Right. And then you didn't piece it together well enough for me to still be intrigued by it.
So a lot of filmmakers today, all right. So you know how we grew up and we learned poetry. So
that's like where I started.
Even hip hop today doesn't really do poetry anymore. They just rapping about anything. But poetry sets the design of your rap or of whatever you're going to sing or say. Right.
That's why it's different forms of poetry.
It's different forms of it. Same thing with filming. There's different ways to film, and you have to learn that science not only by watching your peers, but actually maybe taking some courses. And looking into why certain camera angles fit. If we're trying to shop this Henny bottle, right, and we're trying to shop also
the Sammie bottle,
Sammie glass, right? Yeah. But I'm on a microphone, but I have a camera behind me. What is the camera supposed to be looking at? Me or the product?
The product.
All right. So he should be film me to where I'm a little blurred, but you got a great clear shot on the product. right?
It directs the brain the way
But
that it's supposed to go.
you can still hear me talk.
Right.
I'm talking about this product, but the real concentration is the product. And we have to always remember.
You see it in commercials all the time.
All the time.
I know that's what's messing. Cause you know what?
I'm a marketing major, so like commercials bother me because I know these things.
But it's like at one point, like you don't really think that much into it because you just like it's
'Cause
just
you're a
commercial.
consumer.
But there's think
But
groups.
then-
There are people that get paid thousands of dollars to sit in a room to figure out what pace of music, what flow of film,
Yes.
and what color
Yes.
pops out to you and will stick out to your demographic. It's a reason that you can get thirsty and think of Pepsi, even though Pepsi never quenched nobody's thirst.
Sure.
Exactly.
It's a
Sure
reason that
does
you.
it.
It's a reason that you call
Thirsty.
air swabs a Q-tip.
Exactly.
Yeah, because
Q-tip is a fucking company.
Yep.
98% of the people in this country have no idea that it's just not a Q-tip. That's great marketing.
that's one.
But they did it. So now when you talk about camera angles and different things like that, a lot of the new younger guys, they just pick it up the camera and they have a concept, but they have no idea of what goes behind it. And so therefore you get cheesy things, and it kind of hurts the independent market when you see more cheesy things than you do valuable things. You feel what I'm saying to you? But I don't worry about that. I'm in a whole league by myself and I'm just doing my own thing, and people know my films.
But like them boys out of Detroit, that made Buffed Up.
Right.
I'm sure because everybody knows Buffed Up. It's like it's become a recent hood classic because it's hilarious.
Right.
But they actually do dope work. Like, and they use the same people. They got 8 movies on Amazon Prime. They use the same motherfuckers. The same nigga that was the kingpin is the cop on the next one. You know what I mean? But like, you can see that they think their things out, and even though it's not where it can be,
Right.
Yeah.
it's enjoyable. It's dope. And then you click on the things that they suggest that's related to that, and it's not the same caretaking.
Right. Because a lot of heart and soul goes behind a lot of projects as well. You know what I'm saying? Some people just do it just for the recognition or money or whatever excuse they have to do it. And some people do it from the heart. When you do your stuff from the heart, it's going to shine through. And that's why we're winning these awards, because everything I did was from the heart. You know what I mean? And women can feel that. Women know when something is real and when it's not. You know what I'm saying to you? And
And you gotta get them.
yeah, well, of course, they're the biggest seller.
They're the ones that pick the movie.
Why would I not sell to the women that keep supporting me? You feel what I'm saying?
They're the ones that pick the movie.
We picked the movie.
They could be trying, you know what I mean? What you want to watch, babe?
Ella got her
All
green
day.
flag.
Oh, and you seen it already? Yeah, let's watch that.
All day. You know what I'm saying? So that's you know, I learned that. I learned that a long time ago. Yeah, I definitely learned that. So I definitely try to cater my movies more and more to women, just for the simple fact they're the ones picking the film.
Shit, Love Jones is never gonna die.
Nope.
Ain't going nowhere. Love and Basketball. I hate to say only love movies, but those are the two that
Yep.
popped in my head the fastest.
Yep.
But it's just
I could help
Baby
you,
Boy.
but that would be a
Baby
lot.
Boy ain't going
Baby Boy ain't
never
going nowhere. You know how many arguments I've had over Baby Boy for no reason?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm talking about group arguments. I've never really had personal ones. It's always been where we was all kicking it watching Baby Boy, and then that scene happened,
And then
and everybody act like they confused.
Right. Right.
Everybody act like they confused, and then we have the conversation.
Right.
So how many hits does it take to get hit back? Speaking of domestic violence. You know what I mean?
Well, to wrap that part up, it's a serious issue, but I tackle it in such a way that it's digestible, that we can learn a lesson from it. And if we can just at least attempt to recognize when we're about to have an escalation with a female, we can actually help heal her spirit. Because if her spirit is not in the right space and she's teaching your children are not going to be in the right space.
Yeah, preaching. He came to preach tonight.
Yeah.
You seen Majay?
You know,
I've learned a million things.
He came wearing his collar today.
I mean,
I want to see the sugar.
No, you will.
Yeah,
and
you will.
actually, I'm pretty sure we'll be at the premiere.
Yeah, you're gonna have I'm gonna put y'all on the media guest list.
Yeah, appreciate that. We'll be at the premiere, and
I'm
if
enjoy this.
applicable, we'll provide some coverage. We'll
Hey,
put together a trip
that would be
Sammie or
dope.
something.
Most definitely.
Capture some of the event.
I would love for you to be there. Definitely.
Might give me a
I just
space
would
on
be
your red
excited.
carpet to talk to the people or something.
Hey,
You know what I mean?
I would love for that to happen.
No, let's from now on. Whenever you think something makes sense,
Right.
let me know.
All right.
Even if it's not specifically, if you have an idea and you like, yo, I'm trying to figure out how to facilitate this idea. See who I know. Maybe some of my resources could be your resources.
We're going to drop our PR press release in the middle of May. We want to win some more awards before we put it out. So, I can have those laurels.
You hear how he talking to you?
Yeah. I know. And I'm not saying that cockily.
No,
I'm not being cocky.
No, it's a beautiful space.
I think that's a word. Is that a word?
It's a beautiful space to be in, though. Like, man, we supposed to be able to talk that kind of shit, man.
Yeah. No,
I built this motherfucker. Yeah. Now we waiting for them to vote for us. Right. Fuck that.
Yeah, I believe in myself. So I believe in myself too much, man. I believe in myself too much. I believe in the people that shot this film. Shout out to Cynthia Belcher and Giselle Martin, who held this movie together. Her daughter, she has a daughter, and her daughter is trying to live her own little life without being a part of her mom's life. You know what I'm saying to you? And she, she's trying to do her own little thing. Okay. But she ends up intertwined with her into her mom's situation. But you'll see when you come out to the movie. I don't want to spoil it.
All right, yeah.
I don't want to spoil
to a mother of daughters.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you're gonna love this film. Mothers with daughters are gonna love this film. It's an empowerment movie for women, to let them know that they don't have to stand up for domestic violence. And it's fun too. Almost like Wonder Woman, if you sort of speak. If I was to relate it to something,
look at the cover, it looks like it's going to be
like
fun.
Like I always speak about being intentional.
Yeah, that's intentional.
This is about because this is going to be a series. Yes, actually, that's not even the whole movie. That's part of the movie, and the movie's 90 minutes long, so you can't put it all in one comic book. So we have to break it up into a series. But now, if we win the film festival, I'm trying to win, which is the New York Film Festival, they pay for your next project. So now I want to discuss making an actual series out of this film. That's what we want to discuss, and that was my next thing. I'm like, if this is a series, we want to discuss it. Dope, right? Yeah, I want to definitely keep people working. You know what I'm saying? To not SAG or non-SAG, it doesn't matter. But the bottom line is, this is a film that has substance to it. Hollywood is regurgitating films because they have no more substance. Yep, and they're running away from they're running away from the shit when it works because it gives us too much power. Exactly. So I'm being honest with you. And this substance is going to bring people back to the movie theater, which is a dying art. Movie theaters are people are so hooked on their phone they don't want to go to the movies anymore. But that's how you get out the house. That's how you communicate. So true. But you creating superheroes and vigilantes, nigga. You about to Ryan Coogler or something? The idea came from the Black Comic Alliance. It was so many black female superheroes back in the day that we don't even know about because they didn't want to put it. The only thing they gave us was Black Panther and Luke Cage so far. But there's so many other black superheroes, and so I wanted to create one just to bring that nostalgia back, to let kids know that you can do way more things beyond shooting basketball or rap. Absolutely. Okay. And I think of a couple of things. One, shout out to my guy Head, my OG. He has McBride Stories. He's the one who put out the children's books with Mara Negra, Ron Artest, damn near everybody. Like he putting out books with everybody. I'm just say that they just celebrated their 100th collection that they put out. In about 8 years. Wow. But he's doing big business. My son has one with him. My son got one? Yeah. I'll show you. I'll tag you on with him. Nice. It might be a way to translate Shout out to my son. For real. Might be a way to translate this to a younger crowd. Maybe I could. And another thing, before you get out of here, after we off camera, I want you to hear some music. Because I think that we might be able to play something. And I tell you what, because we're going to put the soundtrack is almost done, right? If I like something, I'll put it in the soundtrack. That's what I'm talking about. I'm a man of my word. I do what I do. You know what I'm saying? So if she ain't in there, then, he ain't. Yeah, I wasn't good enough. It means I got to work a little harder. Yeah, no, that's all it means. But the bottom line is, we're going to make this happen, though. No, but I'm quite sure you got something because I can feel your energy. I know it's gonna be dope. Nah, Majay is awesome. She's pretty fucking awesome. See, yeah, no, it's all good. No, we're gonna make that happen. No, but I want to salute you, man. I've been saying it this whole thing, and it's weird. We from Philly, right? We black men, right? I'm proud of you, bro. I appreciate you, good brother. And I mean that in the bossiest of ways. Most definitely. You see what I'm saying? I'm so proud of you, bro. I appreciate it. Because even now, I figured out you got to tell me why the names kept changing. Like, I remember all of these things going on and being like, well, the business is changing, so it's kind of expected. But I didn't know if there were other factors or fractions added or subtracted to which, but it was all about you moving business, which is beautiful because that means that you got to do it on your own accord. And now that's why you are where you are and able to give back in the way you are. Damn, we've been talking about the accolades and we love those. But your legacy gonna go, nigga. your legacy on full steam ahead.
Yeah,
and you ain't nowhere near done. You still a young man.
No, I'm nowhere near done. Until I get a building, I'm looking to get a.
How old is Scorsese?
Up in his 80s now.
Yeah, so you got time.
Oh yeah, no, I got lots.
You got plenty more shit to put out.
And that's one thing about hip hop and filmmaking. Hip hop, we put a limit on it, but they can't put a limit on filmmaking
at all. At all.
And I can still put my music in my
But you know what's going to happen in hip hop? The same thing that we realized in comedy. The substance is going to come from motherfuckers that lived. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
It's cool to be entertaining, but what's going to hold me?
Right.
Somebody that really got something to say, and that doesn't necessarily come with age, but it always comes with experience and wisdom. So those things is just going to be what it's going to be, man. We got to find our place in the struggle and row our boat.
You ain't never lied, brother. You ain't never lied. And I'm feeling that, man. First of all, it's an honor to be on your show. I'm going to tell you 2 reasons why. When I watch a lot of podcasts, you know,
we get to learn from those.
Yeah, we get to learn from them. And I want to be politically correct. I think I get more enthused with listening to your podcast because it's a variety of subjects, but it also gets to the root in the heart of what we're doing. So I gotta appreciate that because other people try to steer you off in Wild Blue Yonder and don't talk about the subject at hand. By the time you at the end, you trying to rush. Yeah, movie come out June 6th. But you know you don't want to get into the habit. You always acknowledge it, and that's a beautiful thing when doing interviews and stuff like that. Because I remember I did interviews for a long time, so I know how important it is. And you stay on subject, and I appreciate you. It's an honor to be on your show.
Thank you, sir.
You know what I'm saying to you, and I want to congratulate you.
Thank you.
Because first when I walked in here, I said, "Damn, we got everything hooked up." This is my little
situation.
You know what I'm saying? And I was like, "Oh no, this is it." You know what I'm saying? So I'm appreciative of that. You know what I'm saying to you, and to be on your show once again. This is going to be in history. I just want you to know, 10 years from now, when you go back to look at this and you see me on this plane, you're gonna be like, "Damn, I remember my interview in the house. Yo, this was dope. Remember that?"
This is just
because I did that about Beanie Siegel. You gotta remember before I interviewed Beanie Siegel when he was doing that, he said, "This is ILLADELSTYLES, the DVD magazine." You know what I'm saying to you? When he was doing that and drops for me, I watched him. I went to New York with him and I recorded them in New York, him and Freeway. Me and Freeway is very cool. Like every time he see me, he knew.
Yeah, shout out to Freeway.
You know what I mean? Shout out to Freeway
Academy too.
Yeah, I've been filming everybody in this city since back then. You know, but I was always Philly's best kept secret. You know what I'm saying? Nobody really talk about EQ. But I was steady grinding on the independent level. Now we doing it with the films. You got to pay attention. You have no other choice. I'm on the big screen now.
But like,
you know what I'm saying?
In response to what you just said, bro, this was just another opportunity for us to be a blessing to each other.
Yep.
And we should have plenty more.
And we will. No, not we should. Saying? We will.
And as far as that goes, just look forward to it, man.
I look forward to it. Listen, man. It's a blessing, man. Once again, I appreciate and I'm honored and humbled to even be on the show.
Nah, man, you are appreciated.
Beautiful meeting you. You're going to get this music going. You know what I'm saying to you? And I definitely want to get on the soundtrack. Shout out to Julia Robertson. I want to throw one little last hoop in there. She is of the old group ex-girlfriends from Full Force. All right, so she's actually in the movie. Dope. And I record with her. She caught COVID this week. She's supposed to come over this weekend, but 2 weeks she'll be over. Coming from New York to finish up the soundtrack for the movie and her EPK. I'm doing her whole album.
Dope.
You know what I mean? So that's gonna be dope. It's actually already done, and we're just gonna remix some things. And so she's in the movie and she's on the soundtrack. So you're gonna be amongst players in the game. You know what I'm saying to you? So, you know, I like it. This is definitely gonna be a movie for the books. You know what I'm saying to you? And I appreciate everybody that's coming to support. And I know you're coming. Yeah, we're going. And you got to throw it on. I'm telling you, you got to throw it on. I'm telling you, you got to throw it on.
I might order a new suit.
Listen.
I'm just gonna buy some fabric, just make mine.
That's what I'm talking about, sis. That's what I'm talking about.
No, we talk about a seamstress, a CDL. She's in nursing school right now.
Yeah,
you on your grind.
So like, when you was talking about holding down a 9 to 5 and still chasing your passions and all of that, bro. Talking about a real one, bro. Talking about a real one.
Don't give up. You know what? You know the hardest battle is understanding that at the end of the day, you're gonna ride this boat alone.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Now, seriously, don't give up because you're gonna sacrifice a lot.
And I'm time is your time.
Relationships.
Yeah. Yeah.
Listen, I'm just going to tell you by experience. You have to be honest with yourself. If you're out for a goal, you can't have a serious relationship because it's unfair to that person because you are always going to be busy. So you have to adjust within yourself to say, I'm not going to even entertain it because you're going to hurt that person and you're going to hurt yourself. Finish your goal. And if you decide that you're comfortable at that point, then you can settle on a relationship. But don't get into a relationship if you have a goal because the relationship is going to either slow you down because you can't do both because they provide a different type of energy. You know what I'm saying? To get up every day 9 to 5 and still try to do your own thing, which is your music and stuff like that, that requires energy, inner energy that is very hard to get by. Okay? Relationships require a whole nother energy because you're learning a whole nother entity and they have their own world. And whatever's in it, you still have to pay attention to that if you really feel that person. So it's either you're going to have the relationship or you're going to have the goal.
I take gold for 500.
Right. And then it's just to be honest as creators, we have to be honest with ourselves. You can be out there if you're a creator and your job doesn't take as much energy as ours does, then you can probably do it.
A little different.
You know what I'm saying? It's a little different. But when it requires your daily attention, finish the goal before you participate in a relationship because you're going to hurt that person or you're going to hurt yourself.
It's hard to turn on, turn off, turn on, turn off emotion.
Yes. So you got to sacrifice. So I sacrificed a lot. I did. I really did. And I realized that. And it was time. And I had to learn because I tried to get into a relationship, but I ended up hurting that person as well as hurting myself.
But your son is fine.
Oh, yeah. My son is,
Yeah, he Gucci.
Yeah.
So that's what matters.
Yeah.
You won that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You done that.
He like this.
Done that.
No,
but that's what we fighting for, man. But once again, let the people know everywhere to find everything from you.
Listen, bro. I need you to go. The brand, 20 years. ILLADELSTYLES Entertainment. 20 years in the business. 20 plus years. EQ Films Productions. The new movie, Sugar, coming out June 16th. It's going to be at the Ritz, downtown 2nd and Walnut, 7 p.m. Media and press will need to sign up at the website, ILLADELSTYLES.net. You know what I mean? You can go to /sugar to find out the gear, the puzzles, the comic book.
Yeah, support all of that.
Support all of that. You feel what I'm saying?
So we can make some more sugars.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I can employ more people. You got to understand, it's not my goal to not only make money off of it, but I want to employ people. We can't employ people, especially that's trying to act and do the things they want to do, if we don't have revenue coming in. So we supporting everything else. Support something that's really happening in your city.
That part. My J, let them know what all you got out there, how they can catch up with you, please.
You catch up on me or, of course, Instagram or whatever the case may be. MA_JAY. I got a couple things coming up. Got the festival. The Kensington
Free Love Festival.
Yes, the Free Love Festival, which I'm excited about. It's so funny because I seen the guy that inboxed me, but I was like, I don't know nothing about this. So then when I see you on the flyer, I said, oh, maybe that's why he was reaching out to me. I was like, yeah, of course I sure enough will.
No, that's gonna be fun.
Before it was sent to him, I was like, send.
I've done it twice. It's gonna be fun.
And I have another festival.
Oh yeah, the Kensington Derby.
Kensington Derby. I was so excited to see my flyer, and I seen it today in school. I was like, just got finished taking my test, and I'm like, man,
I didn't bomb this. Kensington Derby is?
This would be my first one.
The Kensington Derby is the biggest festival in Kensington. They average about 15,000 people a year, and it's on a few block radius on them little blocks back there on the other side of Frankfurt Avenue. They have a lot of things going on, but their main attraction is they have people that build sculptures or vehicles.
Okay,
that's like moving art. Ooh. And they put it on like multiple bikes or whatever, and you have to ride it through obstacles, and then you have to at the end you ride through a mud pit.
Oh, that sounds so
there's
fun.
There's 2 stages. There's a main stage, which we usually program, or K usually programs, and then there's a smaller stage which K also programs, and the smaller stage is the Mud Pit mixtapes. I mean, it's the Mud Pit stage, but we're doing a Mud Pit mixtape. So for the first time, they're allowing us to bring out some local acts that do hip hop and things like that.
Nice.
And they'll have a captive audience because people line up at the Mud Pit so that they get a good spot for later.
Wow.
So like it's a dope thing. It's like if you never been there, if you're an artist and you be like, yo man, how y'all be performing around them white people and all that. This is them type of things where like these people will buy you a beer, follow you, and order the merch on their way home. Like you need to do that one time. Right. You know what I mean? Just to feel that energy.
That's the circle you need to be in. Though. You know what I mean? And I think that that matters the most because that's broadening your audience. Because
we used to do the Blocktoberfest too. Was that 50,000-60,000 people a year on Washington Ave, and we was in charge of both stages, and we had we did the same thing. We had a smaller stage there, and we did something similar years ago, and got crazy. And it was like everybody that was a part of that, from the DJs to the artists, till this day, you bring that up, and they gonna be like, yo, that was crazy. That was different.
Are you serious?
Like, it's just a different energy. It's a different vibe. And it's one of the things that if you deal with me and I feel like you don't just want to kill everybody every song, that I could provide an entryway for you to be a part of.
That part right
you
there.
You gotta be versatile. You can't just
you know what I mean? But also, you have Open out now.
Oh yeah, I have my EP Open that's out on Spotify.
Nice.
And it's on different
all the other DSPs.
Yeah.
We're gonna double check very soon, but I'm pretty sure it's on all the other ones because nobody.
Yeah, I was on YouTube. I was like, well, I didn't do it. Like my cousin was like just playing around and type my name in. It was like YouTube Music. Yeah. And it was like, of course, she had it on Spotify. It was like Apple Music.
Yeah, you popped up on Apple.
And I was like, oh man, like it was pretty cool.
Listen, I'm gonna give you a little tool for Spotify. Y'all should give me a check too. Playlist Booker.
Playlist Booker. Okay. Say no mas.
Right.
I look into it.
Look into Playlist Booker.
We got it.
I have my song on there. Seriously, I have a couple of songs on there. Busted. And all those songs are getting played all over the country. They give you the analytics for it, everything like that. And these guys really promote your music and it's real live stuff. You know what I'm saying?
That makes sense. That's dope. And it's crazy because in my I dropped a few. Shout out to everybody that's heard them, but look out for the EPs. I've been dropping 6-packs all year. I dropped the IPA 6-pack. I dropped the lager. The stout will be out. I think on my birthday, probably right after this drops. The stout will be out. But
nice.
The IPA did 100,000 views on Spotify, 100,000 streams on Spotify in the first month or so.
Damn.
And that was crazy.
Nice.
Like I didn't even like how you.
Did they give you your plaque?
They didn't. I don't know how that works. I didn't get any. You get one for 100.
Yeah, you get one for 10.
I should get it soon.
What?
Yeah, you get a plaque.
I should be getting something. It's 100, and it's still up there. Like you can look. You look at that project. Everything is at 6 songs. Everything's around.
They should have
20,
sent
15,
you one
15,
for 20,
13.
For 10, 20. I think they do 30. Yeah, they run by the 10. 10 after 30, it's 50,000. Then it's 100,000.
Word. So we looking.
You should get a plaque.
We're looking into that. I need that right here.
Yeah, you should get a plaque.
I'm gonna move the poster. I'm gonna move the poster. We're gonna put the poster somewhere.
Yeah, wow. Like I gotta get a plaque, bro. Like that's good. Great numbers.
No, but it's crazy because I don't even know what did it. Like it caught. You know what I mean?
So,
I don't know.
You know, they have influencers.
Okay.
That if they hear something off the bat, they like it. Then you can also market to these influencers. Mm-hmm. These influencers have playlists, or they own several playlists.
And that's why you said the joint before.
Playlist book.
That's why I said that makes sense because I'm still trying to. So, bet I'm on it.
Right. And so when you got a song you want to put out, before you put it out, you want to make sure that it's 3 weeks before the time for the song to come out.
Absolutely.
Then you get it to Playlist Booker. They also get it to these influencers. And if the influencer like it, they'll put it on several different playlists. Now
so this is like the DJ circuit used to be when everybody had...
Influencers took over the DJs. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
See, that makes sense to me because I understand what you understand about how the DJ shit used to work.
DJs are still good because you got to get played in the club.
We love the DJ.
You love the DJ.
We love
that
the
don't
DJs.
stop nothing. But bottom line is you still want to get with these influencers because these influencers have the power of social media.
The power of the industry shifted.
Mm-hmm.
The DJs aren't any less relevant to us. They're less relevant to certain things. And that's what we have to pay attention to. We have to balance those things out because we always got to show the DJs love. You know what I mean? But there's other motherfuckers to pay attention to too, is what he's saying.
Mm-hmm.
So that makes sense.
I still rock with the International DJ Cafe in Philly, the
Absolutely.
Core DJs, and the Nerve DJs.
Mm-hmm.
My man DJ Johnny O, shout out to him. And so I still have a relationship with the DJs because they still play it in the clubs that you go to.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? They play your music.
Right.
So at the end of the day, you still want to be on their side. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
But
Nate is awesome.
and you also got to give out a lot of drops too. I
Yep.
want to teach you something. I want to teach you that understand that every DJ loves to drop a drop,
With
hyping
their name on it.
They love that because it makes them look bigger than what they doing. You feel what I'm saying to you? So you give them a hype drop, they will play your stuff just because.
And there's different ways to do drops. It's a whole thing to it.
Yep. You need that. You need that in your life. Trust me. But Playlist Booker, you know what I'm saying to you, for all you artists out there trying to get your marketing on, Playlist Booker is a good one. And y'all need to give me a check because I done said it 6 times already. So at the end of the day, and the only reason why I'm saying this is because I tried it myself and I know it works.
Yeah. Listen, I appreciate that joke. And we're going to get out of it because we done talked enough, man. I had a ball. Everything else.
Yes, I learned a lot.
And that's part of it. 1, he's going to be back. And 2, anything that we led to, look it up, figure it out, man. Do your due diligence and give my man his flowers because he deserves the effort and the energy. He gives it to us. You know what I mean? In the city.
We rocking out, man.
We can make it, baby. That's the name of the song. The song you shot for City.
Oh, yeah, we can make it. Yeah. Oh, you know what?
That cookout wasn't crazy. It was one girl in my cookout with sneakers on, and she had Gucci sneaks on. Anyway, Sippin' with Sammie, Sam Malone, Barstool Groove. If you ain't sipping with Sammie, you ain't sipping right. Get your fucking life together. And we see you next week, man. Shout out to my artist, Majay, and my man, Jermaine Quick, the director.
Director, writer, producer, you know what it is.
Everything.
That
Out of here, man.
Drip, 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 drip. I got the drip, you know that I'm saucy. Got a new bitch, hop on my dick, you know I'm a boss, yeah. Drip, 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 drip. I got the drip, you know that I'm saucy. Got a new bitch, hop on my dick, you know I'm a boss, yeah. Bad bitch, but I'm spoiled. Bad bitch, but I'm loyal. All my bitches is bad asses. All you bitches be boring. Your nigga be all on my top. Your niggas be all in my face. If he ain't cutting them checks, the nigga get out of my face. See, I don't play with you weak bitches. All you bitches got broke habits. Y'all pussy get broke niggas. My pussy get bad habits. Taking flights on a daily basis. Money calls and I get the chases. Ass fat but them titties right. Just to show you hoes I ain't basic. Pussy wet on the regular. Drip, 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 drip. Dripping money like a Spanish hoe. Sip, 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 sip. Bag of bitches on the regular. Want the sauce in the regular. Checks hitting like escrow. Had the facts like dominoes. Drip, 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 drip. I got the drip, you know that I'm saucy. Got a new bitch, hop on my dick, you know I'm a boss, yeah. Drip, 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 drip. I got the drip, you know that I'm saucy. Got a new bitch, hop on my dick, you know I'm a boss.
You can tell me what you wanna hear, the bottles, the bitches, the money, the cars, huh? I ain't got it yet. Listen, these lyrics is how I'm finna flex. I'ma cut the checks, hold on, wait. I'm just warming up, thinking about my kids, thinking figures I can get 6. I'ma get slick like Rick, wait for the days we get rich. I'ma get a yacht, painted red, get a crown, wear gold on my head. I'ma cherish every single word I said. Look, you nigga, yeah, I said what I said. I could be the greatest to ever do it. I promise I prove it. Don't ever expect to see we never lose it. Drip too exclusive.
Drip, 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 drip. I got the drip, you know that I'm saucy. Got a new bitch, hop on my dick, you know I'm a boss, yeah. Drip, 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 drip. I got the drip, you know that I'm saucy. Got a new bitch, hop on my dick, you know I'm a boss, yeah.